So now that you've assembled your frame and you've moved on to your door, I'm going to show you how the jig works. So this is a single door and it's an 80-inch. So we're going to use the 80-inch side of the door of the jig. So we're going to keep the top of it flush with the top of the door, and we're going to keep the side where the hinges are routed out flush with the side of the door. Okay, so there's 3 screws down the length of it. I'm going to fit 3 screw holes. I'm going to fit the 3 screws. This allows me to make sure the hinges are all consistent. Now, because the frame is reversible, that's flush on the bottom as well. Okay, now I have a router. So this has a 16mm collet with a 12mm cutter bit in it, and these are all perfectly machined to work with this system. So I'm going to router these out now. Now that I've fully machined out all my hinges and I've pre-drilled them and fitted the hinges, I'm going to turn the door over and I'm going to show you how to use the jig on the faceplate for the lock. So now that you've routed out your hinges and you've fitted your hinges, we've turned the door over and we're going to do the faceplate. So again, the principle's the same. You're going to hold the 80-inch mark to the bottom of the door, okay? And now you're going to line the slots. So those slots are 44mm thick, which is the thickness of a standard door, okay? So how we're going to do it? We're going to keep the 80-inch flush at the bottom. We're going to sight the door through the slots, okay? If you want, you can put an edge of a sliding square or something down there, but I can get my fingers in there, so that is perfectly flush on both sides, and it's flush on the bottom. So I'm going to fix it in the screws that are holes that are allocated. Okay, you only need 2 screws on this. There are 4 down the yoke, but the others are for the flush bolt. So I fitted my 2 screws now. So that's perfectly centered and perfectly flush on the end there. So now all I have to do is router it. So again, the same 16mm collet with a 12mm router bit. The only thing I've done now is I've changed my depth, because obviously the faceplate is a different depth than the hinge. I've changed that, and now I'm going to router out my faceplate. So now that we've routed out our faceplate and we've removed our jig, I'm just going to mark the body of the lock, and we're going to have to take that out with an auger bit. Okay, so I usually just sit it on the door like that and sight the 2 ends with what has been machined. Little flick with my pencil down either side of the lock. Okay. door's 44 mil, so the center's obviously 22. Little flick, and I'm just going to use my finger to run a line down there, and that's me there. I'm going to take that out now with a 18 mil auger bit, and that'll be my lock fitted.